Hello, this is Titania from the Fairies Garden on Etsy, and I'm here to show you a concept journal that I've made recently. This is meant to be Professor Sprout, Pomona Sprout's journal, and essentially the story behind this is like this is the journal that she had. She was a bit of a younger girl then. I journal around the time frame of 1959 to around 1963, if that's to send like a little, if that's to like put a snapshot to where this should be placed in. Though, admittedly, some parts are a bit of out of time since they're a bit more vintage than usual. As you can see from the cover, I made this embossed hummingbird and flower design. And it's this pink color because from the books, Pomona is described as this unassuming squat witch. So I thought that it would be fitting for her if her journal was a bit, unassuming as well. When you look at it, it doesn't look like much. You actually open this. Here we go. Actually, before that, let me just show. So before you even open it, you can kind of see some things sticking out. There's a lot of loose threads. You can always cut it off if you don't like it. It's a lot of things. Anyway, so once you open it, you're greeted by this butterfly end paper, and right here is her nameplate, Pomona Sprout. Let me just pull it up. And you actually get a photo of her. I found this on the Graphics Fairy. I found this on the Graphics Fairy. And it's just like a vintage photo. I thought the lady in here looked, shared a likeness to Pomona. So I thought it'd be very fitting. And she's just like out in her yard. What I like to think is in front of her greenhouse, just reading a book. Anyway, dated November 1960. Some pieces in here are actually, out of order because like in real life, you try to put things chronologically, but sometimes you just want to put something that happened last year all the way in the front. Anyway, set this back down. Okay, so starting with the first signature, you get this really nice grungy vine. It's like made out of cardstock, or a thinner cardstock, so it's a bit more tougher than normal paper. And you get this Hufflepuff bookmarker. I just thought it would be very fitting because she was in Hufflepuff, and eventually, Pomona actually becomes the head of Hufflepuff, right? So turn that page, you get a nice like badger tuck spot. And here is like the first thing, she has a luggage tag from it. And this thing right here is a letter. It doesn't have any addressee or sender, but when you actually open it, you see a picture. And it says, "Beloved, until I see you again." And I like to think that Pomona in her younger years was a bit of a wild gal and dated someone who eventually, ended up being arrested and placed into Azkaban prison. I just like wrote over this with like a pen and looked up some symbols online. But here's like a little note that he sent her before he was locked away. It goes, tucks back in here. Next page, I have a seed packet made out of, I think, tracing paper, and I just like printed on it. And there's no actual seeds in here because I'm a little hesitant to like ship things organic through the mail. And it's just like little journaling cards. One's coffee, one's tea. Let's put them back in here. Anyway, like I said, this is a concept journal, so you're free to just write wherever you want, take things out, put things in, but there are elements in here that tell you Pomona's story, or the story that I'm trying to convey through here. Throughout the journal too, there's like actual magical plants that I printed out, and they have their name. This is a borage. Oh, I sewn this piece of like ledger paper like onto this page, and that's what it's like this little sewed part was. Again, all these papers are tea stained by me, some digital printing. A lot of it's from the Graphics Fairy. A little pocket. In here we have a fragile, some ledger paper. Okay, and here is the first specimen, I'm doing air quotes, and this is like gillyweed. This is gillyweed. Again, this is sewed. I just like put some laminate, like cellophane paper on top just to make it seem like it's preserved in there. It's glued on, so it shouldn't fall out, but you know, you can pull it out if you really wanted to. And this one's really nice because it opens up and it's like a little mini notebook in itself. And there's a little tuck spot right here with just some small pieces of ephemera. And you can just clip that back on. And right here is a tab that says research, and funny thing is I actually studied botany, like a little bit of botany in real life, so these are like actual notes that I've made that I just like handwritten back here. Here's a text spot with a really big loose thread on ledger paper. Here's the devil's snare and an illustration of it. I put like a little tab on it as well. Another tuck spot, little pocket. And here you can kind of see. So this this book page will actually look a little familiar if you've ever read it. But anyways, right here I just like secured it with a paper clip. Is photo, and on the back it says, "My visit of Makusa. Look at all these hardworking witches and wizards." I like to think that she likes to travel around the world, likes to visit places. Because like I said, carefree gal. But is there a reason for her carefreeness, or is it just like her personality? You know, some people are just like that. Right here, I made like a paper clip with a bit of textile tied onto it, like a ribbon. And right here we have a journaling card of mushrooms and an envelope from Pomona's mother to Pomona Sprout. And in here you pull out a photo of a young girl, a baby girl, and a letter that says, "My dear Pomona, we miss you dearly. Here at home, your niece has grown so much while you were out gallivanting across the world. When will you settle down, find a stable career, and start your own family? You know I only want what's best for you, darling. Sincerely, your mother." Don't they all? And that's supposed to give some backstory as to why maybe she's not just carefree because she's like that, but maybe because there's some, you know, problems at home. Maybe not problems, but you know, a little bit of pressure from home to be who your mother wants you to be. Just secure that back on with a paper clip. Here's some more digital stamping. And here comes the end of this first signature. And the second one, I really love this print. You open it and there's actually a pocket. And there's like a little notebook. If this notebook cover looks familiar, it's because it's the same print that was used on her mother's letter or envelope to her. And I like to think that her mother sent her this, you know, to get her wondering like, hey, when's the wedding? Essentially, it's empty because Pomona was like, no. But it's empty also because whoever gets this journal can put in whatever that they want. Do whatever they want, write in. But this paper, it isn't tea stained, but it is upcycled, so you can kind of tell. But it is sewn on. So here we go, a bit of collaging on the front too. Moving on, we've got this little beehive clothing house. I like to think that if Pomona did shop anywhere, she'd shop at like floral themed places. Yeah. And another like calling card on the back of this like half page. Here you see some of the back stitching, and it's actually attaching this beautiful shell paper that I found. And here's a luggage tag to Belfast. Tucks back in. Over here, this paper specifically came from me. So like I said, I studied some botany, and here's some ferns of Costa Rica. This is from my own personal studies. So I'll probably upload this maybe one day in a DigiKit. Again, closed just with a paper clip with some text down. Over here we see a baneberry illustration. On this page, got this paper clip with a really long wax thread. There's some colored digi-stamping right there, and here's a photo of a train. It's a all-black train, I'm pretty sure. And it says, "Nothing beats the Hogwarts Express." Pomona is loyal to her alma mater. Well, wouldn't we all if we went to Hogwarts? The picture of this signature is this paper with a beautiful geometric print on it. It's actually paper, not fabric, and in it is like a small tuck spot with 2 mushroom journaling cards. Tuck that back in. Some more colored digi stamping. And over here we have a very large specimen card. And this one is mandrake leaf. Obviously not real, but I like to think, you know, just to pretend. And here's the second half of those Ferns of Costa Rica page. I just pulled it again just because it's a bit too long. And directly on the other side is a little pocket that has the Latin name of the mandrake, Mandragoras. That looks really cool. With another journaling card of mushrooms. This one actually has a tab so you can find it easier. Half page. And on the final page of this signature, we move on to the second half of the narrative. We know that, you know, Pomona is a wild but curious person. She's curious of the world, and right here it's like labeled confidential because she's been traveling around a bit, and she's basically just labeled places where these plants are endemic to, and ultimately she's trying to find the elder tree. You can see that somewhere in the British Isles, and she's like circled it with a red pen and underlined it, and ultimately she wants to find the elder tree because she wants to for one, research it. Like, does the elder tree have magical properties to it that would create such a powerful wand, the elder wand, or is it because death created it, you know? And also because she wants to be able to recreate the elder wand or distribute that power. It's not for anything malicious. She's just genuinely curious and wishing to progress magic studies in herbology. And that will play in later down her life, you know, becoming the herbology professor.